Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. It got spicy yesterday. The KARL JOBST Billy Mitchell just took another turn. We have online war. Right, what are we talking about? Well, Les had a live stream last night after he found out that on Discord they were threatening to take down his channel. You know, coming from, according to him, because I got in the stream a little later, KARL JOBST. It looks like he's threatening to take down his channel, and he was calling out his hypocrisy, for being for free speech, and threatening to take down his channel. Right? You're either for free speech or you're not. Right? If you're for free speech, you got to let people talk about you, even the nastiest things. Right? And Les called out the hypocrisy that he's been, bullying people like Billy Mitchell and other people on the internet for years, and that is his content, right? He gets his content, finds somebody who cheated, and then makes a whole video on them and berates them. And now these people that are relatively obscure in some cases become famous for the worst things possible, right? They get their moment of fame off of that, but that's free speech, right? I mean, if you put yourself on the internet, you got to be able to take criticism. But man, let me tell you, Les did not take those threats kindly and really took him to task. Not only, making fun of his business positions, let's just say, but also the fact that he doesn't have any money, that he's bragging about being bankrupt. But let's hear it from the man himself. I'm just going to play a short clip. Okay, I don't want to get this video banned. And let me tell you guys, please, like, subscribe, comment on the video, because I'm getting shadow banned right now because we're talking about these things. And the type of things that I'm going to talk about right now are the same kind of things. You know, yesterday when I was in the chat, people were telling me, oh, you haven't posted a video in a while. They didn't get the notification. So make sure that you hit the bell, that you subscribe. So, pretty much every day, or at least every other day, I'm posting a video in case you don't see them. So with that said, let's get going.
A lawyer, I will say this: if this channel shuts down, I'm going to take a vacation to Brisbane. Brisbane.
Oh man, another trial, another 4 years of content. Okay.
And I know you cannot afford a lawyer.
Oh. Oh man, he's calling you broke. He's calling you broke. Oh no.
I know you cannot afford a lawyer.
You ain't got no money. You ain't got no money.
I'm going to hire Billy Mitchell's lawyer. I'm going to hire Billy Mitchell's lawyer. Okay? And we'll see and I'm going to get your channel. Because now I know which company has a stupid channel. It's this one right here. And I know who the officers are. I know everything about your company, Carl.
Oh, man. Let me tell you guys, it is not smart to be picking fights with lawyers on the internet. Right? It just isn't. Number one, because even if you think they're the worst lawyers in the world, right? Let's say that KARL thinks that he's a lot smarter than Les, and despite the evidence to the contrary, that he could beat him in a court of law, right? Which is highly unlikely, but just, let's humor ourselves with that opinion. That lawyer has unlimited resources, right, to be in court because he's his own lawyer. Not that he would do this. He would hire Billy Mitchell's lawyers, of course. But I'm just giving you the principle. You don't argue with lawyers like that because they'll have a lot more resources than you do. It's just a bad idea. Not only that, this is a lawyer that's been researching you for years. He's got all the goods on you. Now, this is not financial or legal advice of any kind. But looking at what this lawyer's presenting, and I'm analyzing from a professional business perspective what he's done here with his company. And let me tell you, this would not be the way to organize a company, right? Especially dealing in the realms that you're dealing. If it was me, right, and I had a channel that big where I'm tackling these subjects where I know I'm going to be pissing people off, because basically what KARL is doing is picking picking somebody at random and making a video on how they're not a good person. Right? Anybody can sue you for anything. They're not a good person for cheating or yada, yada, yada. Right? What his content is. So there's a huge personal liability there. But they are the owners of the stock. Right? So it's a limited company, but I didn't see a insurance company step up. So, why did you set it up without insurance? Now, a viewer in the chat pointed out that, well, even if you had insurance, he would have been pissed because the insurance would want to settle. Yes, because they're smart. Remember the 33 business principle when it comes to legal actions, how you evaluate, right? When somebody sues you, what your courses of action should be before you call a lawyer and get informed about your case. But what's being shown here in this discussion, what I've seen, what he presented, right? It wasn't only the drama that was happening on the live stream, which is 3 hours long, by the way. You guys can go check it out. Put it down below. It is the attitude of KARL JOBST. Right? It's for a person in that situation, it's almost like he hasn't realized the gravity of what's about to occur to him. Right? If it was any other person on the planet, you would be thinking about your family, you'd be thinking about your kids, you'd be thinking about, how do I move forward? And let me tell you, I'm telling you this from my own experience, and I'll make a separate video from this. I've been in this kind of position where I've lost a lot of money, and I mean a lot, right? Pretty close to what KARL JOBST has lost here, and I'll make a separate video on that. But this is not the way you get out of it. It's not by acting immature. It's not by picking fights online. It's not by spending time on Discord, for crying out loud. And now, the worst part of it is that he didn't dive deep into it like maybe a lot of us would have preferred, right? Because KARL JOBST is already talking about countersuits, right? And specifically, the parts that affected him are these comments that he's made here, which I've shown the response for, of what his response are to these supposed racial comments that he made in the past, right? He takes a stand on it, and he says that he's been affected, right? So the language clearly there is, if you take me to task on this, it affects my business, and threatening countersuits. Of course, it's the court, even though he hasn't won a case yet, you don't want to be the person, right? You don't want to be the first one to go into these realms. But if a lawyer covers it, then it's a safer bet, because now we're looking at a lawyer that says that he has vested this information, right? He knows that what he's presenting to you is actually vetted information, right? And this is the difference between some lunatic in his basement taking clippings and a lawyer. A lawyer is taking on liability. He knows that as soon as he posts these up, he's taking the liability for it, because, he's the person he's going to blame for putting these out. And he has money. You can see all those Pokemon cards in the back, right? He's got tons of money, right? He's not going to sue a lunatic in his basement, but he will sue somebody's, because he needs the cash. Somebody with that many resources. Now, he didn't go into the more spicier stuff, which really would have been insane, right? But these comments that he put up here are racial towards Asians, and racial in nature towards Asians. And he was just calling them out straight up, like, what's going on here? And the reaction from KARL JOBST, I'm telling you, this is something that I can't even fathom in my mind. I mean, if I had anybody in my life that would be doing these kind of things, saying these kinds of things, that would be in this kind of situation, it would be on the internet, on Discord, worrying about what other people think of you when you have this massive judgment against you, when you're facing bankruptcy. I mean, this is a time where that KARL JOBST truly doesn't have anybody to talk to. doesn't have somebody who can grab his shoulders and say, listen, son, this ain't the way, buddy. I know you're mad. I know you're upset. You have to accept these things that you said, right? If you're truly going to repent, if you truly want to be forgiven, if you want people not to talk about this stuff, right? You just can't threaten them with lawsuits, right? Because that'll work for some time. But the more this lawyer keeps talking about it, right, the more available this material is going to be to people who really want to cover it, right? Then I can really talk about it without the fear of, facing legal action because this lawyer is presenting it as vetted information. You see the difference? Right? It's a huge leap. You have to, YouTube is fun, let me tell you. YouTube is fun to make. We can have a good time. But I'm not trying to get sued. Right? The minute that KARL JOBST tells me, hey, I don't like that video, it's gone. I'm not trying to be in a courtroom over a video that makes me, 35 cents. I'm just not. It's not worth it. The expected value on return on that is insane, right? But this lawyer feels offended, feels threatened, and rightfully so, right? If somebody's saying that they're going to take down your channel because your opinions because they offended you, okay. But hasn't KARL JOBST been doing that for the longest time? And that's what he called out in this video. You've been doing this to Billy Mitchell for the longest time. You've been talking about his family. You've been talking about his business. You've been talking about taking everything away from him. You've been talking about, not letting it go for years and years and years. There's going to be a ton of videos. And now that it's happening to him, right, now he's against free speech. And that's another point that Lust made. Supposedly KARL JOBST is for free speech, but wants to strike channels. Look, guys, when you're on YouTube, if you don't have thick skin, if you don't want anybody to criticize you, go find another hobby, right? Because people will say very nasty things about you. They will. And you can address it for entertainment if you want, right? But if you're not of the mindset that somebody else's opinion of you is none of your business, then, you're going to have a rough time. And clearly KARL JOBST is having a rough time now dealing with the ramifications of the choices that he's made. The only way to get away from this is, number one, right? If this was my son doing making these kind of, racist statements, making these kind of poor decisions, being in the situation that he's in, right? And let me tell you, KARL JOBST is pretty close to one of my daughter's ages. I would tell him this: you need to focus on yourself. You need to focus on becoming a better person. You need to focus on not putting yourself in this situation again. It's not okay for you to be saying these kind of things just because, your wife is Asian, right? It's not okay. It's different when you're joking with your buddies, right? Like when I'm joking between Hispanics. For those of you who don't know, we call ourselves some pretty horrible things, right? That's part of the culture. Part of the culture is addressing ourselves in the worst way possible. And that shows love. Those are actually terms of endearment, right? But you can't say it online with no context. Right? You just can't say it for the hell of it. You just can't say it because other people are saying it. I mean, this is a road that's just going to lead to destruction like it has now. And picking fights with lawyers is another bad decision. I mean, every single decision that this man is making is terrible. And there's nobody there to tell him, hey, bro, like, we need to have an intervention. What you're doing here, forget about you, right? It's not about you anymore. When you become a father, you're no longer the main character in your story. The main character in your story are your kids. You have to do everything for them. That's why you don't engage in, internet stupidity that gets you sued, right? So, people want to be critical of me because I choose not to tackle certain things that I know might get me sued. Well, I don't want to end up like KARL JOBST. right? It's what you have to do. You have a responsibility. With great responsibility, right? With great power comes great responsibility. But when you have great responsibility towards your family, you have to take care of them 24/7. Every single action that you do, from when you wake up till you go to sleep, is about protecting your family. And clearly, if you're on Discord, if you're picking fights with lawyers, if you're making your situation worse, you're not doing that. But it makes for great content. All right, humans, I will catch you on the next one. Take care.